to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss.
Pacers were going to make the playoffs. It didn't end so well for you, brother.
If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool.
You fell asleep at the trade deadline when we had a trade to get Kyle Lowry out of here.
They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me keep on running toes. They gonna take
this is what we got to tell.
I've been doing this.
Filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I'm paying the cost. I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Woo! Welcome to Refuse to Lose Sports. My name is Joe Jordan. I'm excited about this episode today. As you know, we are doing this at a different time. It's no longer dark outside. You know, kids ain't screaming in the background. Some kids at school. You know, it's a lot of things. It's pretty much quieter here right now. We're looking pretty good because it's 9 a.m. Well, technically 9:04. But look, we're here. I got two of my bros with me. We got some coaching things to talk about in the NFL. A lot of drama, especially within the NFC East, all right, with this coaching carousel. But I got Davey Dollars with me. He was with me last night on the Kings Talk. You know, Miami ended that losing streak. And we got Mr. Your Dumb Son himself, Tomo. I'm curious to see what he got to talk about one of these topics. But how y'all doing, fellas?
I mean, I had my coffee, so I'm good as far as that part. But, man, these early shows, man, I want to welcome y'all to something different because, you know, the brain operates a little different in the morning.
That part. Yes, I'm excited, man. Like I said, it's a morning show. We get to get the show out the way. That way we know that what we said it first. So just so y'all know. But yeah, it's glad to be here in the morning now. Or as I like to say, glad to be in the rising now. So glad to be it's exciting. It's exciting. Feel good. I'm always up in the morning, so it's my time in the day. So let's get it, man. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. So what we do on Thursday is we turned up. It's the morning time, but we still gonna turn up.
Turn me up.
Do you think, Jody?
Let's go. All right, y'all. For those who are watching, make sure you like this video on 3 platforms, right? We are streaming this on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, all right? So make sure y'all like this video on all 3 platforms. Share the video on all 3 platforms, all right? And that's so people can come and watch live with you. Use that comment section, right? Follow and subscribe if you haven't done that. That's probably the most important thing. Use that comment section. We can see all the comments y'all will be putting out throughout the show. Oh, we got a super chat already. I didn't even see that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got a super chat already. Okay. I see you saying. Oh, there you go. Hold up. All right. Your baseball. Go ahead, Dave.
Shout out to Teddy, Mr. BWT himself, a member for 5 months. Shout out to the best sports network on the internet and La Familia. Oh my gosh. Why did he always have to start off with that? Hashtag start spreading the news. Hashtag humbly. Hashtag do your job. Hashtag fight on. Hashtag Duke.
Let's get it. All right. Shout out to Teddy, man. BWT. So use that comment section. And look, if you're feeling good, hit that $sign on the bottom next to the comment section. You can throw in the super chat and we'll stop everything we're doing, put you on the screen, kind of like what we just did with Teddy, and then give you the floor because we appreciate all the donations and the gifts. All right. So
donations, gifts.
Last but not least, enjoy the rest of the show. Tomo, the floor is yours, my guy.
Wake up. I meant to say that. It's the first of the month. Look, it's the first of the month for real. Black History Month. It's so much going on, and we talking about coaching carousels. NFC East, they just doing a Cupid shuffle with some of their coaches. I mean, one franchise still looking for a coach. One franchise is getting held up by a defensive coordinator. It's a lot going on. Then you got another team that was just like, we hate the Cowboys so much that we want to be just like them. And we're going to go out and get their offensive coordinator so we can see if our quarterback can do the same thing. And if you don't know which team I'm talking about, of course, I'm starting early with the early morning slander. And I got a few more things to talk about because they just needed a few more plays. Eagles go out and sign offensive coordinator. Ex-Cowboys offensive coordinator, ex-Chargers offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, and they bring him in. Also with Vic Fangio to bring in their defensive coordinator, trying to do a whole revamp of the front office. So we got to really talk about this because, Joe, we in this division. Mm-hmm. You've seen Kellen Moore on the opposite end. I've seen Kellen Moore since he started his career in the NFL. Well, no, he started with Detroit, but when he started his real coaching career. And we got to say, do we like or dislike this move as Kellen Moore being the offensive coordinator? Y'all want me to start this one off? Or?
I would love to.
We
got breaking news. Go ahead.
It's not really breaking news. It's Giants news. They're retaining their Mike Kafka, the OC Mike Kafka.
They what?
They're retaining Mike Kafka. He's coming back.
Let's go, y'all. The offense. As long as Danny Dimes is there, we know they're not gonna move the ball. Look at that. Good news. News.
I'm glad that they DC gone though. Gotta do it. He caused us some problems every time he played him.
I think it's just the helmets, man. At this point, when it come to y'all, it's personal. Yeah, man. Get out the chats, man. Get on the show because this is the moment you've all been waiting for. So look, Eagles went out and signed Kellen Moore, as you all know. And me being a Cowboy fan, I try to reach out to some of my Eagles fans and say, hey, man, look, Kellen Moore is not a bad offensive coordinator. He just doesn't have a pulse on an actual football game. He still has some growing pains. And coming from being a backup quarterback to being a quarterback coach to then being promoted to offensive coordinator, you're going to realize that that's going to happen. And also, you all were clowning us for years when Kellen Moore ran that draw play against the 49ers in the playoff game, which I was like, no, it's just the players. It's just the players. So let me give you the bright side of things because you all want to come to me and I looked at it like this, and I'm going to give y'all one more analogy because I am going on a little tangent right quick, but we've all been in high school. We've all had girlfriends before, right? Now some of us have wives, and you look at it and be like, you start talking to her, then y'all break up and she move on, and then one of your homies be like, hey man, wasn't that your girl last week? Like, why she over there with him? It's like, man, hey, look, man, I already know what we gonna go through with her, so look, more better to him. Hopefully she becomes a better person while she's over there. But all I know is when she's with me, these are some of the flaws and things that I had to deal with. You have to come from a place of healing. And if you don't go into your next relationship healed, then it's just going to fail. And that's just how I look at it sometimes, right? Because Kellen Moore has not learned his lesson yet. If you watch what he did with the Chargers last year, a lot of people want to say, well, they had injuries. They dealt with this. They dealt with that. When he was with the Cowboys, he dealt with injuries as well. He also had a running back there too. He also had weapons. And some would say that Herbert is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. Like, as far as throwing the football, making the right reads, some would say that. Their offense kind of struggled just a little bit. And then some would also say, well, what about the Chargers defense? They didn't have that great of a defense. Do I need to remind you that the Cowboys weren't a top 10 defense for a majority of the years that Kellen Moore was there? Some people they forget about that. They just remember the Michael Parsons years. Football did not start in 2000. Just remember that, fellas. Those are some of the things that I just want to share with y'all. But some of his highs, top 5 offense, maybe 2 of the 4 years he was here. As far as passing, the rushing kind of declined just a little bit once the offensive line didn't do too much. You have Ezekiel Elliott there. That's a plus. Another thing with Kellen Moore is a lot of people are starting to talk about he uses the motion a lot. No, he don't. No, he don't. I'm sorry, guys. Don't fall for that. That's a banana in a tailpipe. He doesn't do it that much. Your offense is literally going to be under center, hand the ball off, a couple play actions here and there, but you're going to average 27.7 points per game. You may throw for almost 300 yards per game, so it's all going to look good. But when it comes down to those situational football, can he or show us that he's matured, i.e. Dan Campbell? I'll let you guys have the floor.
I'm actually shocked you didn't mention the backup quarterback part either, because remember that was said as well.
Him
As
being
far as Cooper, Cooper Rush and him making the offense look
I can't say
elite
everything.
with Cooper Rush.
I can't say
Yeah.
everything. I gotta let you guys get a little bit.
I know you got more. You got more in the tank. I know you got more.
Go ahead, Joe.
We can go. All right. So, okay. So, do I think it's a good move? I don't know if it's a fair answer. To be determined, man. To be determined. All right. So, like, you know, we I asked a few Eagle fans in the chat how they felt, and I listened to what they had to say. And then I did my own research, obviously, and see, okay, and I took a look at what do I know before my research. Okay, this is what I know about Kellen Moore. This is what I know about Philly. Okay. Then I did research. Okay. I see this. Let me look at these other Eagle fans. I don't know how they feel. And Tomo, these Eagle fans are excited.
I mean,
they are excited.
I can understand though.
Like they are so excited. But like, and you said something key. What I didn't really know. All right. You said that Kellen Moore doesn't use emotion a lot. I saw a stat, right? And we all know the Eagles issue. They are so 2005-ish type of offense. Like they use no motion, none of that stuff, right? It said the QBs with the best QBR this year, while on plays that come with motion. Number 1 is your boy Dak Prescott. Number 2 is Brock Purdy. Number 3 is Jalen Hurts. Right? But they don't put in motion. They don't put the offense in motion a lot. And the Eagles had the worst percentage of plays in motion, which is 26. 26% of their plays they ran in motion. They had somebody go in motion. Which is crazy. You talk to the Dolphins or the 49ers, 100%, unless they hurry up to the line and try to get the flash off quick. Even when they try to hurry up to the line, they bring emotion.
Exactly.
So you saying that is kind of like I'm like, oh snap! I kind of like just kill everything I was thinking about this dude, right? And so, but my worries is what you said, Tomo. It's the situational part, and that's why I told the Eagles fans. I feel like yes, the offense could be more dynamic. Yes, the offense could be more. They could be flying higher with big plays and stuff like that. But when it comes down like in the fourth quarter, I feel like Kellen Moore. Yes, you might say Dak Prescott didn't show up. Yeah, we could say that, right? But on top of that, there are times when Kellen Moore will call a play in a crucial part of the game, and I'm just like, we all like, Kellen Moore, what are you doing? Even again, and I can't even remember exactly what happened in your game. There were question marks like what are you doing?
On the Chargers game?
Yeah, Chargers game.
Yeah.
Right? So that's that right there. But I do want to say this though, before they go. Wait, you know what? I'm gonna sit there around, circle back around. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah. I'm also a little indifferent about this too. Because if you look at the numbers, he has been the top offensive coordinator as far as, when it comes to the passing game. But what are the Eagles known for? They're known for having a good running game to help out with the passing game. I don't think Kellen Moore's going to help out with that. I'm sorry. I don't think that's the case. And honestly, if you want to look at what we were saying this year about Jalen Hurts and the passing game, we said that he was throwing the ball too much. They weren't running the ball enough. And what did I get them? I got them to 11-6 and out the first round of the playoffs. Is that really what you want to see again? Because a Kellen Moore offense hasn't gotten past one win in the playoffs. And a lot of people say that's the players, but sometimes that also goes with the OC as well. The OC has to carry that weight too. The OC is the one that's calling the plays. He's the one that's putting those people in those positions. So, yeah, you gotta give him some of that as well. Now that's the reason why I say I'm indifferent about it, because it can be successful, but is Jalen Hurts going to be a lot better than he was last year? Is he going to be a better passer? Not saying that he can't pass the ball. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not calling him a running back. Yeah, I know someone else has said that, but not me. I'm not calling him a running back. But is this going to help his career? This is his third OC in 3 straight years. We know that having an OC for a different OC for 3 straight years doesn't help you. Most of the good quarterbacks in the league had consistency. or at least have the same person calling offensive plays. If you go to Kansas City, you say, well, they had EB, they had so and so and so and so. Yeah, but Andy Reid has been there the entire time, so he still has some continuity there. If you look at Kyle Shanahan, yeah, he had Mike McDaniels, he had Bobby Slowick that was there, but Kyle Shanahan has been there, so he knows how the offense runs. When we talk about Mike Sirianni, we all Eagles fans say that he's terrible when it comes to calling plays. He don't need to call no plays at all. So you don't want him doing it. You had Schleichen 2 years ago. Then you had Brian Johnson last year. Now you got Kellen Moore. Is there going to be continuity there? It's going to take a while for them to get used to this offense. So I think that's going to cause some issues in the beginning. I still think this is going to be a playoff team. I'm not saying that they're going to miss the playoff. I still think the Eagles will be a playoff team. I still think they're going to be a contender because of the roster that they have. Mm-hmm. You still got Jalen Hurts. You still got a good offensive line, even if Jason Kelce doesn't come back. But he's saying that he might because he sees his brother in the Super Bowl. But just in case he doesn't come back, I still think your offensive line will still be good because you still got Lane Johnson over there. You still got some good offensive pieces there. But the biggest thing is your defense. For me, that's the biggest thing that needs to improve is your defense. With Vic Fangio there might be an improvement, but are the players that you have in position going to be able to help out with the scheme that he's going to have running? But as far as Kellen Moore being there, he's going to have Jalen Hurts throwing the ball more than he has in his career. I think that's the case. And if he's throwing the ball more, is that really going to help out? Because he threw the ball more last year, and that didn't help him out. He actually had more turnovers last year throwing the ball more. So is that what you really want in Philly? If so, then I hope he developed better as a passer, as far as him being able to make the right decisions and throw a little bit more accurately and just like I said, just make right decisions. If it's not happening, then I don't think you should expect anything different from what you had last year.
That's a fact.
Well, this season that just happened just now.
No, that's a fact. Go ahead, Joe. You said you were gonna say something before.
Real quick, Eagles fans are probably upset. CJGJ, Gardner, right? Made it to the NFC Championship game. They got bounced in the first round. Gardner Minshew made it to the Pro Bowl, and Jalen Hurts there. It's crazy, but
Jalen Hurts replaced Brock Purdy. So
he's an alternate. Okay, so him and Gardner Minshew are alternates. Okay, How ironic is that? All right, but real quick, one thing I will say though, they threw the ball a lot, right? Now this year is up to if the Eagles flop, you got to put it on Sirianni because they're supposed to blend the offense, right?
Yeah,
we know Kellen Moore by himself. His scheming is pretty good though. I'm not even gonna lie. You know what I mean? Like he'll get guys open.
It's not bad at all.
So Jalen Hurts will be more productive. So the issue wasn't really he's throwing the ball too much. It's look at the routes you got these dudes running, throwing the ball too much. Like what the heck? Oh, go ahead, Tomo.
Now that is where it's going to get interesting because last year when Dak threw the 15 interceptions, well, the year before last because our season is over. So the year before last, when he threw the 15 interceptions, a lot of people was coming out and they were saying Kellen got these guys running too many option routes. You're giving them too many options in an offense where it's like if 4 people going to the middle of the field. Remember that Green Bay game where you threw the interception and both CD and the tight end was right there?
Yeah.
It was an option route. They both had the option to run somewhere. And it was just like, what are you doing? So it's one of those things too, where you blend too much of this offense. Are you all going to make the right read at the right time? So like Dave said, they are going to be growing pains. And I give it to you. Like Kellen's going to make sure that you all put up the numbers and you have the stats because at the end of the day, if I'm an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator, stats is going to get me a job. Not the actual end results of these games as a coordinator. It's like, well,
it's on the head coach.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you're in Dallas, it's on your quarterback. But that's another story for another day, right? So I can put up these numbers, and this is why Kellen is on his 3rd job. Look how many offensive coordinators who were in his same position that put up these same amount of numbers, and how many job offers have they been given? Like technically, if you look at what happened with the Chargers, some people will say, nah, I'm okay. Like we can go find somebody else. We'll probably go find a Ben Johnson or, hey, Nick, we trust. No, they don't trust him. I'm not even going to say it. I was going to say we trust you enough to put something out there, but Nah, they don't. So as far as your running game, Philly, it's gonna change. You're gonna be more of a finesse team, and like everyone on this panel was saying, is Kellen going to be able to switch it, or are you all prepared as a fan base to go that route? Because you all were mad this season when they did it. So here's another season of what's to come. Also, hey, Blaze, I know you probably working out. If you ever say that was top tier play calling again when Cooper Rush was out there, you are insane. All right. You talking about a quarterback who averaged 6 points a game, and that's top tier play calling. Oh, no, that was top tier defense. That's what that was.
It's funny because Tomo, I was like, hey, yo, Tomo, how you feel about this? He said, if they like it, I love it. I was like, that's a great answer. Look,
Hey.
to piggyback off that statement right here before we roll out, just to bring the trolling into the scenario, all right? This is a crazy situation for Dak and Jalen Hurts, for the fan base at least. These guys probably don't care, right? But if the Eagles progress in this offense and get back to a Super Bowl and Jalen Hurts look awesome, then people gonna be like, man, look, Dak was the reason. It was Dak. Dak was the reason.
They are.
But if they flop, kind of similar we saw part, let's say the Cowboys, or even last year, they fought last year, then the Cowboys gonna be like, I told y'all. I told y'all. So I'm excited to see this season play out.
Also, it's not even just the quarterbacks. Mike McCarthy got something to do with it too. Because if Kellen goes there and the Eagles do make it to the Super Bowl based upon all offense, a lot's gonna be looked at. Hey, Mike, I know you won the Super Bowl, but you said the scapegoat thing that everybody want to talk about with Kellen Moore Dallas. They're gonna start to look and say he was a scapegoat, but he just took this team like. And some people would say the Eagles regressed a little bit last season. Dak had his best season as a quarterback. Hurts coming off a season he had. If he goes back in the MVP conversation and typically is like a number 2 voter, I'm like, hey man, was it? And I ain't mad at it.
Keenan Allen probably had his best year last year.
Oh, one of your guys is gonna have their best year. You better hope it's that guy, because if it's the other guy,
it's gonna be Smitty.
See, then it's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get ugly. Hey, Dez, Amari, better let AJ know, man. You better get on that good side, because I'm telling you, once the ball start going to the tight end and the other guy,
it's mainly because if you look at their best, the players, AJ Brown is more like Mike Williams than he is Keenan Allen as far as like his route running and everything like that. Smitty's more comparable to Keenan Allen. So if you look at how Kellen Moore's going to run the offense, it caters towards Smitty all the way. It doesn't cater towards AJ Brown.
Yeah, I can see, because his route runner is really good. So he's gonna be able to let him go to work.
See, the positive thing though, if you are AJ Brown, and Eagles fans, I'm gonna give you this tidbit, is if AJ Brown is who I think he is and who he reminds me of, your red zone targets are gonna go up. AJ, you could be that Dez Bryant in the red zone. Just throw it up and he gonna go get it. So that's a positive. The tush push may go, but the fade route may go up. So AJ may be happy in that instance.
Dang.
I think as long as Sirianni is there, the tush push ain't going nowhere.
Jason Kelsey, he was a big factor on that tush push.
But that also depends if they ban it or not, because they're still talking about that too.
Well, they might not ban it now because it ain't helping last year. It ain't helping this year. So.
Yeah, and Carl, I know you're gonna be upset, but Josh Allen using it now, so they definitely not gonna ban it. They definitely not. They're like, nah, we gotta get my man to the Super Bowl. Go ahead, keep running that play, Josh. But more coaching to be decided, man. You know, Joe, it's gonna be rough, man. It's gonna be rough, man. Because old McDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. He left from the east to go to the west coast. You went from the bank to the 12th man. The Seattle Seahawks hired Baltimore Ravens defensive coordinator Mike McDonald as their next head coach, giving him a 6-year contract. He's one of the guys that was on your list. I think you all interviewed him, Joe. I would ask you how you feel about this first, but he's in your division, Dave, and the Ravens put a hurting on them 49ers. How you feeling, man?
Facts, though. I ain't even see it like that.
In all honesty, this is the only competition we have in the division, honestly.
What? Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, we own the Rams. So I'm not really too worried about them. They got a dub because we sat our starters in the last game, so I ain't too worried about that. And the Cardinals are the Cardinals, and they ain't nothing. So this is definitely going to be a battle in this division now with him there. Because if you look at that defense with the Ravens, they had a historic defense this year. With him leading that defense, they led the league in sacks, points per game, and turnovers. It's first time in history that's happening for a while, and I mean they got them all the way to the AFC Championship game, and they held Patrick Mahomes to 17 points. And that was all in the first half. They didn't score anything in the second half at all. So that defense is led but that defense was led with, of course, with Roquan Smith. They had Kyle Hamilton, so they got the players in there. But that's not to say that they don't have the players in Seattle, because they have the players in Seattle. Yeah. They have exactly what they need. They went and made a trade with the Giants and got one of their defensive linemen last year. So this defense is definitely going to be a lot better. But is Geno going to be improved? Are they going to get another quarterback? What's going to happen with that? So I'm not too worried about it, but I know it's going to be a lot more physical when it comes to Seattle now, because that defense is going to get improved. Mike McDonald was a huge hire for them. He was a vaunted candidate for a lot of teams. Not just the Commanders. He was a candidate for the Falcons, because the Falcons had interviewed him. What was one of the other jobs that was open? I can't remember all of the Patriots. The Patriots were thinking about him before they went ahead and just gave Gerard Mayo the position. So it's definitely going to be, their defense will be a lot better. I think their defense might even be top 10 next year with him coming in there. It could even possibly make it the top 5, because they have the talent there. They just didn't have the coordinator that they needed, and now they got a head coach that helps out with that defense. And then he's twice as younger as Pete Carroll, so he's going to be able to relate to those players a lot more, because he's closer to their age, and he understands the game. And then he hasn't gotten to the Super Bowl, but he has a championship experience being in the AFC Championship game. And that's not going to do anything but help them a lot more. And then like I said, they got the players. They got everything they need there. So their defense will be a lot better. I'm not sure about the entire team just yet, because I'm not sure who is going to have as this OC or how the offense is going to look. But this team will be better.
Joe?
Yeah. So the Seahawks, you go from the oldest coach to the youngest coach. This is crazy. All right. They said that he had the most spectacular interview. They said that this is a guy they wanted. They also said even if the Ravens would have went to the Super Bowl, they were going to wait until he go to the Super Bowl and everything to interview him. Like, that's how much they wanted this dude. Now, I think it's a good move. I think it's a good fit for both parties. The type of attitude the Seahawks have, known as a defensive oriented team. They already got young defensive weapons, like you said, Dave. And I feel like him coming there as a head coach, being under John Harbaugh, is going to help him a lot. Being in that Ravens organization, pretty sure the leadership skills are great. I heard interviews like Kyle Hamilton and somebody there talk about it. They said that he's a great motivator. He's a great. Like I said, they were blown away by his presentation. So like, they're very confident that he's going to do a great job there. And I think he would too. Now, so I mean, I like it. I wasn't upset. I didn't really want him. I didn't want him as a head coach. Not saying like if we had hired him, I would have been like, oh, but he wasn't like somebody we got to get him. I wasn't really upset when he got hired. I was happy for Seattle for real. I felt like it was a good transition. Like you said, Dave, that Pete Carroll, he's like that father figure in the locker room. Like, you respect your elders type guy. But McDonald's, he what 36, 35, 36 years old? He in there
36
with you?
years old.
36. You know,
He's
so
literally half the age of Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's 72.
young dude, fiery too. You know,
Like
like
72,
Yeah, he's 72 years
running
old.
up and down the
He don't
sideline
look
like that.
he don't look like he's
Yeah.
72, but he's 72 years old.
how you running?
Whatever he was chewing on in them games, man, was keeping him young.
Yeah, remember he was throwing dimes in practice. Remember
Mhm.
that? but yeah, so I think it's a good hire for the Seahawks. I'm happy for them. I think they got their guy. 6 years, long time. I do have to see how his staff is going plan out. That's why I want to see who you're going to hire as an offensive coordinator and etc. for that offense. So, but I think it's a good hire.
We got some other coaching. Well, I'll wait till after this segment.
Uh-oh. But I mean, for the Seahawks, I would have looked at it and said, who's been running this division for so long? The 49ers, who is the one team that is our arch rivals. The 49ers. Like, technically, they have some battles with the Rams, and of course, you have your battles with the Cardinals, but at the end of the day, it's always been that Legion of Boom and that bang bang Niner game. That's why Sherm went over there, because he was like, all right, y'all don't want to sign me. I'm gonna go over here and see if I can do something. So if I'm sitting back and I'm the organization and I know Pete may not be back, I'm watching that Monday, but that was a Monday night game, right? I'm watching that Monday night game and I'm like, look how they made Purdy look. Everybody was still there. He made some moves.
That was Thanksgiving, I think.
It was Thanksgiving? I think that was a Monday night.
Oh
no, that was Thanksgiving.
It was?
You're right. It was Thanksgiving.
I mean, I forgot we beat up.
It felt like a Monday night.
Eating birds for Thanksgiving. So
You're right. And that's after my man Deron Blank caught the pick six, to make history. But it's not about us. I'd have looked at that game and said, yeah, I want him. Whoever that defensive coordinator is that can stop that Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur offense. I need that. Pause. Oh, it's February. I said that's in the chat. Pause. But
you know what time? I'm sorry, cut you off. You're right. It was Monday night on Christmas.
Okay, I knew I wasn't tripping.
Against the Ravens.
It's on Ravens, right?
It was Christmas. Yep, it was.
Yeah.
I remember. Yep.
I think it's my Seahawks at first. That's my
I thought he was talking about the Seahawks too. That's why I
said
that.
No. I'm talking about when the Ravens.
McDonald.
Yeah, that was Monday night. Christmas.
Yeah. Which Ty should have been here to help me out. He like dropping the score.
Ty might have been just as confused as we were.
If you're the Ravens defensive coordinator, you watch them beat up on the Rams. I mean the 49ers.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why you want him as a head coach, because you got the new defensive coordinator who got some exotic schemes and who can also probably steal some of them players from the Ravens to come on over here. Patrick Queen, he may be a free agent. They can't bring everybody back. You bring Patrick Queen over here to add to what you already got going.
He is a free agent. They only have $11.7 million in cap space.
I mean, look, people, it's the NFL day. The cap really don't exist. There you go, 33-19. But it's just a lot of scheme stuff that you can come up with. And also, speaking of quarterbacks, I mean, once we find out who your offensive coordinator is going to be, now you go back to the front office and see if you can make some deals. Because there's a lot of quarterbacks out there. Commanders may be getting rid of their quarterback. You can go get a Sam Howell. I mean, Trey Lance is still down there in Dallas, or Dak may say, you know what, y'all don't want me, trade me. It's a lot of things that can happen in this offseason to make the Seattle Seahawks look like a brand new franchise. So it's gonna happen, man.
I actually think that Trey Lance is going to end up in the NFC West. I don't know who, but I think he's going to end up back in the NFC West. I really think so. I don't think Dallas is going to keep him. I think they're going to end up cutting him because they're not going to use him.
I mean, Cooper Rush for free agency. There's a lot of things that's going to happen, man. It's a lot of things. This offseason may be 10 times better than the one from last season because there's a lot of things that's going to shake up.
It is.
Yeah. But yeah, for me, man, I'm happy for the Seahawks. Like you said, they going from the oldest coach to the youngest coach, and again, he's still defensive minded. So you got another physical defensive minded coach back in that physical division. It's only up from here.
Mm-hmm.
Dave's like, I don't care about none of that. I just need us
to
That's all I care about right now. I said it on Joe's show last night. All I care about is that Super Bowl.
And on the NBA show, he said that. Y'all, he right though.
Ain't playing no games. But we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, it's it's Joe time, man. We're gonna see what's going on with this coaching situation up here in DC, man. Are they actually gonna find somebody? Is somebody actually gonna say yes? I seen them hold the banners up for a lot of prom dates, but they ain't getting no responses yet, man. So we gonna see.
Yeah, the Dolphins are interviewing their famous head coach Don Shula. They're interviewing his son Chris Shula for the defensive coordinator job.
No, okay. Well, look, see what I'm saying? A lot of things are happening.
It's the name.
Well, make sure y'all hit that like button, man. We'll be right back.
Yo, my name is Lambo Anlo.
This is Dimitri.
This is Ed Hahn.
My name is Daryl Julian, and this is
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we live in different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me, keep on running toes, they gon' take them.
Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah, no time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah, refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah, no time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah, refuse.
And we're back, second half of the show. We're glad that you all are here for this early morning episode. While you out there in traffic or on the train listening to this, getting some good jokes in or some good banter. But we done traveled all around the world. We done went from Dallas to Philly to Baltimore, back to Seattle. Now we got to stop at the nation's capital. I mean, outside of museums and, the monument and the Wizards. There's a football team here as well, the Washington football team, I can't say it on air, but, and now the Washington Commanders. They went out, got a new GM, 49ers ties. There we go, talking about the West Coast again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're still looking for a potential head coach. Do you think Commanders fans should be concerned with the coaching search? And I see the W next to you, Joe. You the fan. I control all day if I wanted to, but are you concerned?
Am I concerned? I think Commander fans should be concerned. Yes, let me tell you why. It's not like a panic concern, but Adam Peters, Dave, trust the guy. He came from your organization. Hey, he got a winning track record. You feel me? The new ownership, Josh Harris, I trust him. His teams are relevant. They're not tanking every year, doing a good job. I trust he's going to turn this thing around. So do I trust them to make the right decision? Yes, I trust them. But I'm concerned because I don't know him. I heard of him. I read about him, but I don't know him. I'll give you an example. Ron Rivera. I know Ron Rivera. When people are like, man, Chase Young, Montez Sweat contract coming up. I'm like, bro, we're not gonna pay him. They're gonna have to prove himself this year. I know that. He made Payne do that. He made Jonathan Allen do that. I knew that. Where everybody's like, y'all should pay him. Y'all gonna trade him before the season. I'm like, bro, we're not gonna trade him. Trust me. Like, we're gonna let him try to earn his contract. So I know Ron Rivera, so I know what Ron Rivera is gonna do. Tomo knows Jerry. He knows Steven Jones. I might say something. He like, Joe, I'm telling you. He know Kellen Moore. You know what I mean? So, it's like being in a relationship, right? Like he said, like I'm around this person all the time. I know things you don't know. And I got this new person. I heard good things about you, but you still got to show me. I'm concerned until you prove it to me. I trust you. Now, this is what I'm upset about, for real. And why I'm concerned. Ben Johnson was the number one choice. I heard it from everywhere. It's a lock. Oh, this is a match made in heaven. Oh, yeah, he's getting the commander job. Oh, book it. It's going to happen. It's been done weeks ago. I heard all that stuff. And then we met up with Raheem Morris, Dan Quinn, your boy Bobby. We interviewed EB, right? McDonald. We did all this. Hire nobody. We actually physically flew. It's the only person we flew to, y'all. We flew to Ben Johnson. And midway through the flight, you get a notification saying that he gonna stay, right? And then how ironic, right? Then I get a report when we found out Ben Johnson said no to us that he's the top candidate. Listen, bro. Commanders, bro.
Stop the cap.
Stop it. Stop. Y'all capping right now. He was definitely number one choice. Definitely. Stop the cap for real. So look, this is what I think is going to happen. All right. Their guy is off the board. Dan Quinn is not there. Listen, Dan Quinn, I hope it's not our guy. Anthony Weaver, I don't know too much about him, but I hope he's not our guy. All right. Who is out there? Glenn, I hope he's not our guy. What I think is going to happen is this. This is the safest thing to do, y'all. Bring back Airbnb, promote Airbnb. That's the safest thing to do. Like, for real, like, because if you hire Dan Quinn, first of all, you hire Dan Quinn, what's that? Really? Another Ron Rivera? Get the Super Bowl one time with an MVP and be average after that? That's basically what we doing. We just saw him melt down. We literally saw him melt down against the Packers. We saw him melt down in the Super Bowl. Why? What we even hired this dude? Anthony Weaver. I mean, he was the assistant coach. They did say he had a say-so on hiring Tom Munkin. How did that work out? I mean, who the reason why he lost to the Chiefs? Who everybody blaming? Tom Munkin. So, I don't know too much about Anthony Weaver, though, so I'm not going to say nothing crazy about him. But my whole thing is the safest move because your guy's not available. You don't have to pick somebody. You can wait another year. You can do that. If you have the number 2 overall pick, there's a high chance you can't get Caleb. Keep Airbnb, just promote Airbnb, give him a shot. If it don't work out, you can always cut the cord and get your guy next year. There's no reason to hire a guy who's not your guy this year. And I'm not going to lie, I really think that Airbnb is more fit as a head coach than an offensive coordinator because of his personality and stuff like that. You got to realize when he's with the Commanders, he didn't have his post on the whole team. Ron Rivera there still. So as a head coach, he'll be to hire his own staff, his hire defensive coordinators, hire his linebacker coach, all that stuff, and create his own culture. And he might do a good job. But if he don't, that's fine. Fire him and get your guy next year. And this time, learn from what you did this year about Ben Johnson and make a quick decision. So I don't think we should rush. I don't think we should hire somebody because these are the only things available. It's all we got available, so we got to get one of these guys. No, you don't. You can just promote somebody that's already in the organization, EB. So that's what I think they should do.
Joe.
Emotional damage.
That's what you're going through right now, man. I understand what you're saying, but it's still the honeymoon phase. The guy just got here, so you don't know him. I know you say you trust him, but you don't know him.
I know, yeah.
Oh my goodness, my man said. First of all, I didn't know the story about y'all was flying on the way back. The fact that Ben Johnson pulled a LeBron and waited till y'all got on the plane and said, "Yeah, I'm going back to Cleveland." Yeah, like that's crazy.
For real, he literally did that.
But as far as being concerned, I mean, like you said, I'm glad you said you should be concerned because if you would have came on here and said no, you would have had another hour of an episode. So I'd have just been like, where did you come to this conclusion? Yes, you need to be concerned because one, all the eggs in the fan base basket was with Ben Johnson. You all were rooting for the Lions. The whole DC area was rooting for the Lions because of Ben Johnson. Then y'all was like, you know what? Once they started losing, like, yeah, hurry up and lose so he can get on the plane. Like, come on, 49ers. Like, it just shifted. They was like, look at our offensive coordinator and what he doing to the 49ers. I can't wait till he come here with us. And then he sat down and said, I don't think I'm ready yet, y'all. He pulled a tray. He got in the 6'4". Y'all came over there. He was like, let me out, though.
He pulled a Josh McDaniels.
That too.
Let me out.
Now, Josh sent him a fax. At least he texted him. He sent the fax in the 2000s. I ain't never heard nobody do that. That was so rude. Who has a fax machine? But anyway, yes, you need to be concerned. But as far as Dan Quinn, honestly, Joe, I mean, it's not a bad look. It's not a bad look because he is the player's coach. Like he gonna make sure that y'all get back on the right path. And, I mean, Ron is more of a gambler. You know, he's a more mature Dan Campbell. He's a more mature. Like he gonna go for it, but he's not gonna do it twice in the same game when you up almost like 24 points. You know what I mean? Dan is good. Aaron Glenn may be nice, but I don't trust Detroit no more. So if I'm y'all, I'm not even picking up the phone. I'm like, nah, we're not doing this no more. Eric Bieniemy, it sounds like you settling. That's what it sounds like. You just like, we can't get nobody else, so we just gonna go with EB. And technically, your guy may not be there next year. So I think at this point, y'all need to go to the college realm and just start looking for college coaches.
But it's too late though.
It's not too late. It's never too late.
Y'all not saying the name y'all need to be saying. He is still out there.
Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel.
But they ruled him out already. He got ruled out.
Why? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Pick up the phone and call him, Josh Harris. Adam Peters, go call him. Go find out where he at. Go have a conversation with the man. Mike Vrabel is the best option out there right now.
Hold on.
And that's not, if that does not happen, remember what happened in the middle of the season. I think I'm the one that posted it in there that there's a rumor that Bill Belichick might be going to the Commanders.
You did start
what's going on right now? Nobody wants Bill. Nobody wants to be the coach of the Commanders. That would also be another settlement. If you think about it, Bill Belichick to the Commanders, that might happen.
Dave said y'all the ugly chick at the end of the night. He's like, man, I ain't got nobody else, man. You here, I'm here.
Hey, and sometimes you just might have to settle. You might have to say, I think if you really look at it, EB, if you look at the mentality, EB and Bill Belichick ain't really no different. But who's more proven? It's Bill Belichick.
But Dave, Bill Belichick.
And you got a GM there already, so it's not like he's gonna have GM duties. You said you would take Bill without the GM duties. You got a GM that's there, so he's not gonna have that. He's not gonna have that power.
EB was there last year though. Like if Belichick comes in, is he gonna be long term?
He was there. EB was there last year, but remember there were a lot of players that didn't like the way he was coaching.
Look, I'm not saying this. I think y'all missing what I'm saying. If you hire Bill Belichick, it has to be for long term. That means this is your guy. Whoever you get, this is your guy. But is Belichick your guy? Is that who you really want, or you're settling to pick somebody because these are the only options, and you're gonna settle for something long term? If you're gonna settle for something, it gotta be something short term. Like in the short term option is EB. He's already in the organization. Just promote him. And then if he don't work out, he got his shot. If he don't work out, you can get your guy next year. It'll be more options next year than what we have right now.
But the players don't like him.
Ben Johnson to be another.
Don't care about the players. It's a new ownership. It's a new sheriff in town. I'm sorry, and that's not true though. That player don't like him. I mean, the main guys ain't saying that. Terry McLaurin, John Dawson, Sam Howell, Jonathan Allen.
You gotta throw out the reports. And Carl, I understand you said that's the point, but look, at this point, there are coaches that you can go find somewhere at one of these organizations and be like, I know they wanted to be a head coach, and they could probably come.
But if you're the Commanders, you're not gonna. That's settling too. You gonna settle down? I would rather settle up.
But settle long term.
But what I'm saying is, going to go get somebody from college that's not highly coveted is settling down.
I mean, is Ben Johnson really highly coveted?
Yeah, he was. He was highly coveted.
All right, maybe my definition of the word in that moment was off. But is Ben Johnson really a head? How did y'all know he was head coach material? So again, they was reaching with that. They was more so going off of his offensive coordinating skills. It's more of a reach with him. Going off of what Joe's saying.
If you look at it, a lot of these coaches are reaches. Raheem Morris was a reach, if you think about it.
But he was a head coach before that.
Mike McDonald was a reach. He's never been a head coach.
That was a reach.
But we're talking really good about him. Why would we change? Why would we change it? Why would we change the way we talk about Ben Johnson just because he's an OC?
Because of this situation, you have, if you're going to go get, now look at it, because you're throwing out EB, who's been to several Super Bowls. If you're going to go hire an offensive coordinator, technically, I wouldn't even been looking at Ben Johnson. My guy's right here. He actually went to the Super Bowl. He was on those teams with a great quarterback, so I know what he's capable of. Why am I going to get Ben Johnson?
I get that, but right at this moment, he does not have a great quarterback. That's not saying that Sam Howell cannot be great or even be really, really good. Right now, he's not Patrick Mahomes. So they're going to judge him off of how he developed Sam Howell. And Sam Howell looked good at times last
Because of
year.
the O-line, though.
Yeah, because the
That's
O-line
true.
too.
But Joe himself also said that that's not always on the O-line. That's on him too.
He hit a rookie wall last year. He really hit a rookie wall last year.
But
he
you
had
see what
great moments.
I think Ben Johnson was rightfully highly coveted because of look at how this offense has been the last 2 years.
I agree with that. But that's as an offensive coordinator. We don't know how he can control an actual whole team.
And we don't know about that we don't know that about Mike McDonald either.
The reason why
hold on. I'm sorry, Joe. This is your team, but now you got me and Dave. You got me and Dave going at it early in the morning. But look at it like this, though, Dave. We don't know a lot about Mike McDonald. The Seahawks wanted to go do that because the Seahawks didn't have an Eric Bieniemy already in the building. So I kind of agree with Joe saying that because once Ben would have said no, my focus would have been like either Mike Variable. I told y'all about this in the chat. I think they're really waiting for Steve Wilkes, but that's another thing. But if everybody that I want is not here, why not go with the guy who's already here?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's there. I know his track record. I know what he can do. And if we put pieces around him, we got the number 2 pick. So we can go get that Mahomes-esque quarterback because everybody comparing him to Mahomes. EB's here. Boom. So, hey, Ben, you missed out.
Because Tomo, and then another thing, Dave. Here's the thing. If you're going to settle, I'm not saying EB is going to be the guy like, yeah, he's the missing piece. But if you're going to settle short term. You don't settle long term. You bring in a new guy, you changing everything. Literally everything about everything. And then you got to commit something long term. But just promoting EB, right? And then guess what? If you don't get Caleb Williams, guess what you do? You trade that number 2 pick for like a top 9, top 8 pick. Because what do y'all trade for Trey Lance, Dave? For a 3rd overall pick. Y'all traded for the 12th pick of that draft, the 1st pick of the next draft, 1st pick of the draft after that, and the 3rd round pick. So what the heck you think we not, brother? Everybody and their mother know that Drake May and they're going Caleb Williams are the top 2 prospects, right? Jaden Daniels, people are a little iffy on him because he had one good year for real. Mm-hmm. But Drake May and like the Patriots want Drake May or Caleb. So if the Chicago Bears get Caleb Williams, we sitting at 2. The Patriots want Drake May. Somebody who else want Drake May can trade for that number 2 pick and give us their 1st round pick. And we can go get the tight end from Georgia. And then we can be good for next year 1st round pick and the year after that. So worst case scenario, let EB just promote this dude. If he win 4 games, fine. Fire him. But if you hire Belichick and he wins 4 games, you gonna fire him next year and try to get your guy? No, you can't do that. You stuck with him long term. Like that's what I'm saying. Like if Belichick ain't your guy, if he was your guy to start with, go get him. That's who you wanted. You wanted Ben Johnson, and he not available. Okay, let's promote this dude we got right here. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I guess like Caleb, man.
For me, I'm just I was just more so just trying to get Tomo to be like, hey, come on. If Mike McDonald deserves the job, Ben Johnson also deserves the job.
No. That's why I said at the time, what I was thinking about when I said highly coveted, I was wrong in that because my thinking in that time was like, nah, he deserved to get a job. He deserved to get one. But once he texts me and tell me no, if I'm the organization, I'm thinking of it like I'm Josh Harrison. Them. I'm like, well, I'm talking to you. I'm like, all right, so who else did you have? All right, Mike McDonald. He's gone. Dan Quinn, how you really feel about Dan Quinn? How do you really feel? Like, is this the guy? Because if once y'all say no, I'm all aboard with Joe saying, let's just go get EB and we ride it out like that.
Yeah.
Now, if y'all end up with Caleb, I think you need to extend EB because if he's everything that they say he is.
Caleb is going to Chicago.
Like if EB does a good job the first year, we had go in the back guy this whole time. It's like, oh snap. Yeah, go in the back guy this whole time. Forget Ben Johnson, extend him next year. If he does a bad job. See ya, EB. Cut him and get somebody else. That's all I'm saying.
You think he's going to Chicago?
Yeah. I think he is, man.
I think if you look at the moves that they're making, they're doing everything they can to make sure they're able to that they draft him. They're going to end up trading.
I don't know about that, Dave. They hire I think a quarterback coach. He's a dual threat quarterback.
Yeah.
So like, Huh?
And he
Oh, it's Caleb.
but
Yeah, but
that
so does
OC
Fields though.
the OC was mainly coveted because of Caleb Williams.
Now, I think Fields gonna go to either Atlanta or the Raiders. So that's another topic though. But man,
Fields might go to Seattle.
Let's go, man. Make a decision.
So more of the story is I think we all agree that the fan base needs to be concerned.
Yeah. And then the reason, and when I met, I don't know him. I'm saying like I heard good things about y'all. I seen from afar, but I don't know you. Like I think you're gonna make the right decision, but I'm concerned because in the situation, bro, this is an unusual situation. You had a guy and he really pulled the rug from under you last minute, and now you just stuck with these guys. It's like, and these guys like
it's not a bad batch though.
Huh?
It's not a bad batch.
For a long term, I don't want Dan Quinn for another 4 years, bro. I don't want that. And then I don't want
to like the names that we saying are not bad coaches though, Joe.
But they already ruled out Mike Vrabel, so that's
Mike Vrabel was not. I would love to get him. That's a coaching change, right? Man,
another thing though, Joe, like if Dan Quinn was to go, I know Cardo threw that out there. Talking Al Harris may be the Cowboys' next defensive coordinator. I don't know. I mean, in a perfect world, that would be nice. But if Dan Quinn leaves, look at the staff that's coming with him. Because if Al Harris goes over there to the Commanders, look what he did with Deron Bland. Look what he did with Trayvon Diggs.
I see you with it. I understand that.
I'm just saying the staff that comes along with some of these head coaches.
Mm-hmm.
So
I understand that.
It'll be interesting.
But I just know that he wins the Super Bowl. He had an average year right after that, and then he lost. He was like 0-6, and he got fired.
Kyle was on that staff too.
No, Kyle left after that Super Bowl year.
I'm saying, but you said when he went to the Super Bowl, Kyle was on that. He was a coordinator for that team.
Yeah, he got hired right after that.
But what I'm saying is, Kyle was there when the meltdown. You holding the meltdown on Quinn. But look how Kyle got better after that. It can people change.
One thing about Kyle, he consistently gets there though. Dan Quinn had one good coaching year for real. Like that Super Bowl run for real.
But when he was a defensive coordinator with the Seahawks,
the
championship is there. His downfall in Dallas is that he keeps getting head coaching interviews when we need to go play teams that we need to beat. Like that's his downfall.
Man, and y'all have the personnel for that defense too. And then, but once y'all got figured out, y'all look awful.
You know what I mean?
Like, huh?
Y'all got linebackers. We ain't had linebackers.
We got like
y'all ain't got safeties playing linebacker though, Joe.
Yeah, we got a lot of people
playing linebacker, bro.
Yeah, that's true. But like, once he got figured out, he looked horrible. Yeah, he was horrible. Like the Legion of Boom, bro. Think about Legion of Boom. They played one way the whole game. They switched nothing up. Like
that's
so.
True.
Like he has a scheme that works, but once it's figured out, y'all get cooked every time.
Oh, that's crazy. Because that sounds like an offensive coordinator that went to never mind. I'm just saying. If you can say that about Dan Quinn, you can say that about a lot of people. But at the end of the day, man, I'm just saying.
I got some college basketball news. The Big 12 was partnered with Muhammad Ali Enterprises to celebrate Black History Month.
Okay, that's what's up. Let's get a cheer for that. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Rumble, young man, rumble. Let's get on up out of here, fellas.
Let's get it.
It's early morning episode, man. Y'all feel like a workout.
Yeah.
It was a morning battle.
Man, you got me and Dave going back and forth.
I know it's just for you, Joe, but me and Dave, this is rare. I'm like, you right. You remember? Shut up. All right.
My last word, defending EB, man. It's crazy.
But and I get what Dave. I mean, I think we all agree. You know, Ben Johnson and McDonald, they're young, but the atmospheres they're being raised in. Great leaders, John Harbaugh and Dan Campbell. All right, Commanders, man. Listen, I talked to my boy Mark. Mark tried to talk me off of me. Come on, air saying this. he did. He looked at the bright side. But talking to Mark, that's when I thought about the EB situation. I did, and we might just keep somehow if Caleb is not available. But just make a decision, man. Don't rush it, but make a decision. I think we're gonna promote EB though. He did get an interview. People forget about that. And and the Kings, man. Listen, we got Indiana tomorrow. Payback, revenge. They feeling good. You know, Holly's a darling of the NBA, which is cool. He get his praise. Every time he have a good game, did they trade the wrong point guard? Every time he have a good game. But when Fox have a good game, it just Fox doing what Fox does. Okay, it's cool. But I hope Holly plays though, Ty. I hope he plays. And that's what I got. Hashtag Swiper Season. Shout out to that whole network. Shout out to everybody in the R2L family. And shout out to the morning show. Let's go. Light the beam.
Man. Light the beam.
Like I said, same message from last night. I'm only worried about one team. San Francisco, we back in the Super Bowl. We got to get our revenge against Kansas City. They beat us in 2020. Let's get this dub. Let's be the third team to have 6 Super Bowl titles.
Yeah, they're saying that nonsense, man. Hey, Chiefs. I know last time y'all beat them in the Super Bowl, the world shut down a few months later. Like, I ain't mad at another lockdown. I don't care what y'all talking about. As long as they don't get 6, I ain't mad at another lockdown. But man, Wizards. Trade deadline's coming up. Y'all keep asking for all these first round picks from what's his name for Kyle Kuzma. I don't know what team's gonna do it. Hopefully you can probably get one, but I don't think it's gonna happen. So make some calls. I like what the new coach is doing. He actually started Bilal Coulibaly. He actually starting him now, and you see what he can do. For all the folks that used to laugh at the Wizards saying y'all can't draft nobody. I told y'all we got a new front office. I gotta talk like Joe now. We got a new front office. I see Pacers wanted to make the trade. I think we won that trade so far. Speaking of people who won trades. But Lil balling, man, and he gonna be the next best thing. He ain't Wemby because of the hype, but he was on that team. So, hey, Wizards fans, we got something to look forward to as far as a player. And Dallas, yeah, Micah did a podcast. Go check it out. He said the same exact thing. It's gonna be a long off season, fellas. That's all I got for y'all. We're gonna be fighting. We're gonna be fighting up, fighting down. I don't know, man. It's just every time we start winning a debate. Y'all do something crazy, and I just gotta shut up and be like, you know what? Y'all got it. Y'all got it. Family members, put the phones down.
I gotta go watch that. All right, that's all we have for y'all today, and we'll see y'all tomorrow in the next episode.
Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.